After planning and selection of the organizational structure, the next step in the management process is to fulfill the various posts provided in the organization. This will possible with the help of planning. Today in this class we are going to learning the staffing chapter. Already I have explained in the previous classes. In management we have that 5 function: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. Let us learn the staffing chapter. Before going to explaining about the chapter, I would like to tell you what is the marks or what is the marks we can expect in the final examination. From the staffing chapter, we can expect total marks is 15 marks. This 15 marks, how we can allocate? 1 marks question with 1, 2 marks question is 1, 4 marks question is 1, and 8 marks question is 1. Totally, we can expect 15 marks plus practical oriented question. The practical oriented question we can expect as a human resources manager or as a HR manager. List out any 10 sources of recruitment. Let us learn the chapter of staffing. First, we have to know that what is staffing or meaning of staffing. This you can expect for 1 marks. It is the process of putting right person to the right job. That means it is a process. That means already I said that staffing is one of the management function, and here in this process putting right person to the right job. In an organization we have that different activities or different work or different task or different job. The manager will going to decide who will perform the right job to the right place. Understood? That means putting a right person, that means manager will going to put or tell them to work in correct job in the organization. That means staffing is nothing but putting the right person to the right job. And next, staffing process. Staffing process is compulsory for 8 marks. In any organization, there is a need for people to perform work. The staffing function of management fulfills this requirement and find right people for the right job. Understood? Let us learn the staffing process, and in an examination you have to write before explaining the staffing process introduction. The introduction, that is, it is the process of putting the right people to the right job. In staffing process totally we have that 8 points. First one, estimating the manpower requirement. Second one, recruitment. And point number 3, selection. Fourth one, placement and orientation. Fifth one, training and development. And sixth one, performance appraisal, or it can also call it as performance evaluation. And next one, promotion and career planning. Last but not the least is compensation. Let us learn in detail one by one. First one, estimating the manpower requirement. It is deciding the kinds of staff, number of staff needed for the organization, keeping in mind the infrastructure, demand, technology, etc. That means this first point will going to explaining you have to decide the number of staff and kinds of staff and number of staff needed for the organization. For a best example, I am starting a new organization or new business. In my organization, I have the different department like finance department, sales department, production department, purchasing department, advertisement department. I have to find out that different department, say an example 5 department. For the 5 department, what is the number of employees required to perform the job? In 5 department, I want the 10 people. Understood? That means in first process or first step, estimating the manpower requirement is nothing but I have to estimate what is the manpower required to perform different jobs in an organization. One more example. In ABC College, example, ABC College, they have the vacancies. They have the different department like a commerce department or science department. In science department and Kannada department, English department, we have the different department. Take an example of commerce department. In commerce department, they have the vacancies for. That means the staff is required. Business studies 2 lecturers, accountancy 1 lecturers, and statistics 1 lecturers. The required were ABC College. Understood? That means in first step or first staffing process, I have to estimate the what is the manpower required to an organization and number of staff required for an organization. And second point, recruitment. Recruitment may be defined as the process of searching for prospective employee, stimulating them to apply for job in an organization. I already explained that is estimating the manpower requirement. Suppose existing company they have that some vacancies in organization. I told you that in production department or sales department they have the vacancies. Existing company they are going to give the promotion to that other employees and to fill the job. But new company they have to compulsory recruit. They have to compulsory appoint the employees to perform the job in particular department. Recruitment is nothing but you have to encourage to the people to apply for the job in an organization. That means I give an example of ABC College. They have that business studies 2 vacancies, accountancy 1 vacancies, and statistics 1 vacancies. You have to give this advertisement in newspaper. With seeing of this advertisement, the people will going to apply the job in a organization or in the college. As well as in organization, coming to that, I told you that we have the 5 department. In 5 department, the manager is required, the company required 10 employees to perform the various job in an organization. What they will do, they will give advertisement through the newspaper or through television, or depends upon that the company they can decide that in which media they're going to give a advertisement. Some companies will going to prefer that newspaper. Some they will give a advertisement on radio or television, or they'll go for a direct recruitment, or they'll maybe use that internal sources, or they maybe use the external sources. Recruitment is nothing but the company has to encourage to the people to apply for a job in a organization is called recruitment. Next one, we have that selection. Selection is the process of choosing from among the pool of prospective job candidate developed at the stage of recruitment. That means, suppose in recruitment, after seeing that advertisement to the organization, they have applied 100 candidate. In 100 candidate, you have to select that best employees, best possible employees. In 100 out of 100, I'll select only the 20 candidate for the interview. Understood? 20 candidate for the interview on selection process. In selection process, you have that separate topic. In the next classes, I'm going to explain in detail what is selection process in the staffing process. Understood? In selection process, you are going to selecting an employee to fulfill the job in the organization. That employee has to perform that particular task in the organization. It is called selection. And next we have that placement and orientation. That means after recruiting an employee or after appointing an employee, that means you have to give a orientation program. In any organization, after recruiting that employee. After appointing that employee, they are going to give a orientation or a placement. Let us see that what is placement and orientation. Placement is refers to employee occupying the position or post which is the person has been selected. That means the person has been applied for the job. For which job they have applied, they are going to perform the job in an organization. That is called placement. And orientation, that means the existing employee or else the new employee has to introduce with a existing employee or with a old employee. That means introducing the selected employee to the other employee, familiarizing him with rules and policies of the organization. That means suppose a person has appointed for the production department, they have to introduce with the other employees as well as the A employee, that is new employee, should know that rules and regulation or policies of the organization is called placement and orientation. And next we have the training and development. Training and development is compulsory, must and should for even if that existing employee, even if that new employee, it is a compulsory. From the training and development, we will get n number of advantages to the organization. Let us see that what is training and development. Training is refers to the process of learning of new skill and application of knowledge. That means with the help of training, the employee will learn the new skills. Understood? They will learn the new skills and they will acquire that new knowledge or some knowledge, or it is the application of knowledge. It is called training and development. That is, development is refers to learning opportunities designed to help employee grow. That means the training will we can acquire the skill and knowledge. The development, with the development, the manager will arranging that some conferences or some programs. This program which helps to that boost up, they can take a promotion in a way that they can grow in an organization, is called development. Development means it is a learning opportunities designed to help employee grow, is called training and development. This all that each and every point you will get for 1 marks in the examination. Here from the training and development, what are the advantage can get by the organization? Let us see that. That means benefits of training development to the organization and to the employees. This question you can expect for 4 marks as well as 8 marks question. For a 4 marks, they can ask that benefits of training and development to the organization. Understood? If they ask for 8 marks, both they can ask benefits of training and development to the organization and to the employees. Let us learn benefits to the organization. That means training is a systematic learning, always better than hit and trial methods which leads to wastage and efforts, money. That means a good training or a proper training which reduces the wastage and it increases efficiency in an organization, and it reduces money also, even if that it increases a production, is called in a way that we can get a benefit from the training. And next one, it enhances employee productivity both in terms of quantity and quality, leading higher profit. That means with the help of training, it increases the quality, or we can enhance, we can control that quality as well as quantity. This will leads to higher profit. From this we can, the organization get higher profit. And next we have that training equips the future manager who can take over in case of emergency. That means if suppose the training, with the help of the training, the employees can take over the cases or in case of emergency. If you know that any in all over that how to operate that machines, you have to get update information regarding to that machinery or each and every information regarding to machinery. In case of emergency, you will know that how to handle of that machinery. Understood? And next, training increases employee morale and reduces absenteeism and employee turnover. And next one, it helps to obtaining effective responses and fast changing environment in case of technological and economic. That means with the help of the training or the training which helps to adjust to the changing fast changing environment. That means in case of changing of technological machineries, with it the employees can adjust to that technological or fast changing environment. And benefits to the employee, that means what are the benefit can get training and development to the employee. First one, improved skill and knowledge due to training lead to better career of individual. That means with the help of the training, the employee can improve their skill and knowledge. Understood? Even that with skill and knowledge, they can get a better promotion in the future in an organization. Understood? And next is second point, increases performance by an individual, help him to earn more. Individual help him to earn more. That means it increases with the help of the training, it increases performance. The organization will going to take care of that performance, or they will going to consider the performance. They're going to give extra financial incentives. Understood? In a way that bonus or incentives, or in a way that that means monetary return to an employee. Understood? That means once the employee can increase his performance, the organization will consider the performance. They will going to give a monetary return to the employees, in a way that the each and individual employee can earn the more. And next one, training makes the employee more efficient handle the machine. That means with the help of the training, we will get a more knowledge about that how to handle the machine. With this, we can reduces the accident in an organization. If it is the employee doesn't having a knowledge about that, or they don't know that how to handle that machine, they will be more accident in a organization. That is the reason training is compulsory for each and individual employee. With that, they can reduces the accident in the organization. And next, training increases the satisfaction and morale of employee. That means with the training, they will increases, or the employee will get a overall satisfaction in an organization. This is all regarding to that benefits to the employee. This topic you will get for 8 marks in the final examination. This is the training and development. Next one, we have that performance evaluation. That means performance evaluation means evaluating the employee's current and past performance as against certain predetermined standard. That means the organization, when they are going to give a promotion, on the time they have to do that performance evaluation. They have to take this performance evaluation. That means, suppose as a best example, Santosh in an organization, Santosh is an employee, they are going to give a promotion to the next 2 levels. What the organization will do, that means they will going to evaluate the Santosh performance, the current performance and past performance. Understood? The current performance, they have that a very high, and past performance is less. They have that increases in the performance. Suppose current performance is less, past performance is good, the Santosh will not get a promotion. Understood? Performance evaluation is nothing but the organization will evaluating the performance about that employees current or past performance, some predetermined standards is called performance evaluation. Next one, we have that promotion and career planning. They refer to being placed in position, increases responsibility. They as usual mean more pay, responsibility, job satisfaction. Promotion. What is that promotion? Promotion is nothing but the employee will get, if the employee is a very good performance, giving a very good performance, on that time the organization will give a promotion. What is promotion? Promotion is a promoting of an employee to the higher position. Understood? Higher position. With this, the employee can increases, the promotion leads to increases responsibility and more salary and more status. For a best example, Gautam is a accountant in a bank. The bank will identify that performance of the Gautam. Gautam is giving a very good performance. On the time, the Gautam will get a branch manager, the promotion called branch manager. After becoming that, or after promotion, the Gautam, they can increases their responsibility. That means the job or job role or a responsibility may increase and pay may increase. Salary before that accountant they have the 10,000. Now the example, they have the 10,000. After the promotion he may get 50,000 or 60,000. Understood? It is increases salary and it increases status also. Before that accountant is only responsible, is only an accountant, and also is like among the employees also one of them. But now the branch manager, and also this will increase his status. Even you can just see that branch manager, that means he has to take care of that a branch and he has to increases the performance of the branch. That responsibility has been with the Gautam. Understood? It is called promotion and career planning. Once again, I'll just explaining that promotion is nothing but it is called promoting of an employee to the higher position. With this, pay may increase, responsibility may increase, and status may increase, is called promotion and career planning. Next is compensation. It refers to all the forms of pay or rewards going to employees. It may in the form of direct financial payments like wages, salaries, incentives, commissions, and bonus, and indirect payment like employer paid insurance and vacation. Compensation is nothing but the employee will render that some services to the organization, so that the company will giving the some financial incentives. Financial incentives are finance, monetary return. Suppose Kumar working an Infosys company, he is giving or is rendering a services in organization, so that is rendering of services, he will get return called salary. Understood? Or wages. Salary and wages is a different. Salary I will get for a 1 month, wages I'll get on daily basis, and incentives. Understood? If I worked in extra or my performance is very good, I'll get incentives or commission or bonus. And indirect payment, like if I worked very well, they'll give non-monetary return. Non-monetary return means I cannot expect, I cannot get in a way of that monetary money, but I can get in a way of that non-monetary called paid insurance. The company will give they'll directly pay that insurance, and vacations, or they'll give a movie ticket, or they may be sent to that abroad, or they may give the tour package to an employee. Understood? These are all the compensation. This is all about the staffing process. And in next class, I'll going to explaining you that is sources of recruitment. In sources of recruitment, we have that internal source and external source. I'll explain you in detail in the next class. Thank you.